Good morning and welcome to another ironic introduction to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about why I was more hyped about this 4-star Ghost Rider than the 5-star Hyperion I pulled. Now understand, I was really excited about the Hyperion. In no way am I trying to minimize the value of that champion. I know that probably overall a 5-star Hyperion is better than a 4-star Ghost Rider. But the thing is, I already had a rank 4-star Awakened Hyperion. And the 5-star will bring me to a higher threshold in the long run. But what I've been really fishing for is Ghost Rider. Every time I pull a crystal, I'm like, please give me Ghost Rider. Please give me Ghost Rider. And the reason for that is that I run Suicide Masteries. And one of the flaws of running Suicide Masteries is it starts to really dampen the amount of champions you have to pull from. And if you don't have this extensive champion roster, you find yourself struggling against specific matchups or certain node types. And so one of the node types that I haven't really had a response for yet is anything that I would need to nullify for. And so up until now, I've been relying on Magic and occasionally on my Symbiote Supreme. As you can see here, in my higher tiers up, I don't have anything to really nullify with consistently. And even Magic, yes, her SP1 nullifies, but in reality, you really want to be using her SP2. And yes, for me, up until now, I've been spamming her SP1 because that's when I use her, but she's best when you power control lock someone, put them up against the wall, and you just hammer into them. But that's not always feasible when you are trying to get rid of specific nodes. Heal block or armor ups, and Hulk Ragnarok has given me the option and the utility for heal blocking, and Heimdall gives me that armor break I need, but sometimes you really need someone who does all of it. And I was a little excited when I pulled Mephisto, because Mephisto does Fate Seal opponents at the beginning of the fight, and I will rank him up, so I have that option because sometimes that'll be the correct option. But the reality is that Ghost Rider has a special 1 and a special 3 that makes him what I would think one of the best nullifying champions for people who run Suicide Masteries. I think someone else, I really think the other options for handling buffs are people who are outside of the Suicide Mastery realm, and that's just kind of an unfortunate reality. But within the Suicide Mastery realm, I believe Ghost Rider is probably the best. I need to readjust the list if I was going to steadfastly make that statement, but the reason I believe this is his special 1 Fate Seals the opponent, nullifying all buffs and preventing any new buff from activating for 5 seconds. So if you need an early fight nullify, you use the special 1, and yes, it's a 70% chance, but when you awaken him, this chance is much higher, so you don't actually have to worry about that for the most part. Especially if you're running the Holy Trinity, which you should be if you're running Ghost Rider. And a special 3, which is a 100% chance, will remove Fate Seal as well as doing a bunch of other things like Heal Block, Power Lock. And so really, ideally, what you want to do is build up to the special 3 and then use this. And the reason I was so excited about this Ghost Rider is for fights like Ultron. I'm really having trouble thinking of anything else right now. I apologize. Iron Patriot, perhaps. Those fights where you want to heal block them, prevent armor ups. This is probably a very good response for me against Iron Man to handle those armor ups. And because he is bleed immune, he is much better equipped at handling both Suicide Masteries, as I've done the math and shown that the double edge is actually what makes Suicide Masteries the most negative to players after recoil. And so just Ghost Rider, absolutely an amazing pull. I'm actually just waiting on my next 5-star on the off chance that the 5-star I'm going to pull in a couple days here it happens to be Ghost Rider, in which case I'll rank that one up instead. But if it's not a Ghost Rider, I'll be ranking him to rank 4 and ideally rank 5 at some point, so I can get the most value out of him. I was just really hyped to get this guy. I jumped out of my chair when I pulled this. I couldn't believe it because I pulled him off of a one of those 3 to 5-star, 3-star to 5-star crystals that are usually just 3 stars. So that said, that's why I'm the most hyped for my Ghost Rider. I know this is a little bit ranty. It's just it's one of those things that it's really frustrating, and I'm really working on ranking up all of the Suicide Mastery friendly champions so I can get an idea of what their power level is, and so I can remake that tier list. Because as I've been playing these champions, I've really been getting a sense of okay, maybe some of these champions are worse than I thought, some of them are better. I feel maybe I ranked Aegon too low, maybe I undervalued him. But that said, that's why I was so pumped about my Ghost Rider. And if you have a Ghost Rider, let me tell you that you might really consider it. Oh, and one more thing to add, because maybe I'll make a guide video at some point if I look them up and make sure I'll look them up and make sure there's not like plenty of guide videos out there, because I don't want to be reproducing content. But the other thing is, one of the major drawbacks of Suicide Masteries is recoil. But once per fight, Ghost Rider can use a heavy attack to get lifesteal, which is 228 health with each attack. And it's only an 80% chance, but because it's a heavy attack, you can just reprocking it. And 228 of the 9,000 health he has is a like 1.8% health per attack. And so, even once you subtract the 30%, it's still like 1.56% health per attack. And that is up for quite a while, actually. And so you can, use that special one, do a parry, and then a heavy attack. And then you have 5.75 seconds, which will probably be somewhere between 7 and 10 hits, depending on how aggressively you play. And you'll be able to recover all of that recoil damage. And so it's not enough to like recover, long-standing fights where you're using a lot of specials over and over again. But in the fights where you're maybe using a special 1, a special 3, and then a second special 1, you will find yourself not suffering from that recoil nearly as much. It's just really a good time. I really, really can't wait to rank 5 my Ghost Rider, bringing him with my blade, start running part of that Trinity. So yeah, that's my excitement. I just wanted to share that with you. I know it's really toned down just because it's kind of early in the morning and I'm really tired, but I really can't express enough. Like, I am as excited about that Ghost Rider as I was about my Ghost, as I was about my Omega Red, and as much as I was about Ronin. So and I'm really at this point where I feel like I've played with the Suicide Masteries enough that I think I'm going to start making guide videos specifically for when you're playing with Suicide Masteries. But hey, maybe I won't. Maybe I think that content will be too diluted in the YouTube content, and I really try to avoid doing that. So that said, I've probably talked a little longer than I should have, and I will talk to you later.